Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. So for today's viewer requested question, this is requested by our very own Iron Wolf. The age, Tuesday, May 31, 1966. This is the first time I've read this. Royal Australian Air Force pilot glides disabled jet onto bush strip. A jet fighter pilot saved a $2 million, wow, that's how much they cost back then, $2 million Mirage, and that's Australian dollars, when he brought it down without power on an abandoned bushline airstrip near Williamstown. Flight Lieutenant Cooper took off from Williamstown on a radar interception flight with the commanding officer of his squadron, Wing Lieutenant J.M. Fleming. They were flying at a 4-mile interval, and Cooper was at, I think that's 1,100 feet, when his, no, 1,400 feet, I think, when his engine failed. Oops. His Mayday distress call was picked up at the base and by Wing Commander Fleming. Cooper said Wing Commander Fleming ordered him to try once to relight the engine and to bail out. Then he wasn't happy. He added, I was doing 330 knots, I'm pretty sure that says, let me know if you disagree, at the time, and this enabled me to zoom up to 4,500 feet. At the top of the zoom, I attempted to relight, but there was no success. I was about over Raymond Terrace. Said he immediately set a pattern to bring him down on the disused something airstrip about 7 miles, well, you ain't going 7 miles at 4,000 feet, from Williamstown base. I didn't have much time to think, he said. I knew I had something of fuel. Well, your engine was out, so fuel on board, 190 gallons of fuel on board, and that would have made quite a mess if the plane had landed on Raymond Terrace. I was gliding at 240 knots, let me know if you think that's different, but I knew that the rate of fall for the Mirage in such a glide is, God, I can't read that. I could have used the ejection seat at a low altitude, but there was quite a chance that the plane would have hit a farmhouse, and I didn't like the idea of jumping. He added, Flight Lieutenant Cooper said he would have been no more than a minute and a half from the flame out to the touchdown. Missed bushes. I could see bare patches of gravel on the airstrip and a lot of grass. He said there were a few bushes down the middle of the strip, but I managed to miss them. A couple of others got caught up in the undercarriage and the plane stopped before it reached the end of the strip. Cooper said Wing Commander Fleming circled above him a couple of times and directed the helicopter that was to pick him up. He was on the ground only 5 minutes before the helicopter came over. 10 minutes later, he was back in the sick bay at Williamstown Base. Although the Mirage was undamaged, which is interesting, it was something embedded in the bush that RAAF mechanics will have to dismantle it before they can return it to base. So it sounds like the bush almost kind of saved it. Officers at the base paid a tribute to the skill with which Cooper brought down the plane. The Tomago, I think that says, airstrip, which we'll have to research, was put down as an emergency landing field during the war. It was only 3.8 thousand, did you guys read that? 3,800 feet long and 150 feet wide, so we've got some distance there. The regular airstrip required a Mirage takeoff and landing is 8,000 feet and has a clearing 1,000 feet at each end. Since the war, the airstrip has been used at intervals for motor racing and occasionally for small crop dusting aircraft. Right, so sorry about reading that like an idiot, but it's quite hard to read. We've got everything we need. We've got the speeds, we've got the altitudes, we've got the type of plane. No, I'm not going to have this. Guys, is this a Mirage 3? Does anyone know what this is? So it's going to be a Mirage 3 frame with 190 gallons. We'll go and get the weight of that. We're pretty sure it is a Mirage 3. The altitude he had the cut was at 1,800 feet at 330 IAS. He then climbed to 4,000 feet to 60 IAS. I don't know how he only lost that amount out of speed, but I guess we'll try it. Drag coefficient presumably is going to be pretty similar from a Mirage 2000 to Mirage 3. The strip he landed on was a rough strip, 3,800 feet long times 150 feet wide, and that's it. And Auntie's found some extra stuff for us. Here is a picture of, is this the actual Mirage, Auntie?
Yes, that's the one.
Roger, and can you go through that data that you were reading out and about the later history of this particular airframe, please?
Yeah, airframe A329, which is the tail number, if you like. It said that in June 66 it suffered a bird strike and flameout shortly after takeoff from Williamstown Flight Lieutenant Gary Cooper of 75 Squadron made a dead stick landing at a disused airstrip at Tomago. It was then towed back along the road to Williamstown. It then served in Malaya and was posted to Darwin. And then on the 9th of April 1984 at Bluff Downs, during a low-level mission, it collided with another Mirage, tail number A3-30, and both pilots were killed. The pilot at the time was C.R. Willie of that Mirage, and flying officer Paul L. Rim of the other Mirage. So, quite sad.
So the airframe was a bit, not very well blessed. Okay, here is the base, Williamstown, where we took off from. Here is I forgot the name of it, the dusty strip where they landed. Between them is exactly 7 miles. So it said that he took off from Williamstown, bird struck, but he doesn't say how far away from Williamstown. So we're going to just assume, just picking a mile out of the air, we're going to say 3 miles from Williamstown, giving him 4 miles, over 4 miles, he needs to glide to get to the RAAF landing strip. The RAAF landing strip is simulated by a World War II RAAF landing strip, and to make sure that we can't cheat, we've got something blocking there, and at 3,800 feet, we've got basically a concrete wall. We'll be starting at 330 IAS and 1800 AGL. We will climb to 4,500, 260 knots I think it was, pretend to do a engine restart and then try and do the landing. The landing was geared down obviously from the picture that we saw. Weights are very important obviously. Now it is very similar size and profile to the Mirage 3 aerodynamically, so that's nice and lucky. I've put 0 fuel in it, which has the bonus of A, cutting the engines for us, and B, coming within 70 pounds. We calculated so that the Mirage in the actual real Mirage 3 with 190 gallons of fuel would have weighed 1,683. So we're about 70 odd pounds out, but you know, between friends 70 pounds is nothing. I think that should be a pretty realistic test. I'm aware that obviously what fly-by-wire and stuff, but it's not going to, you know, change our glider ratio or anything. From my experience of Delta planes, if they don't have power, they basically sink like rocks, but we'll see how it goes. We are barometric 2000, AGL 1800 with the 330 IAS. Engine's gone. Okay, panic, panic, panic. Let's try and climb. I don't think we're going to get to... Oh dear. Back onto old instruments. Going to stall if we go any higher. So I don't know how we got up to 4,500, but we can't. Down we go. Trying the engine restart. If anything, we're actually going to come down slightly too fast, maybe. We need more speed. Angle of attack's going to be too high. I'll get back in. But yeah, this isn't going to go so good. Come on, more speed. Get more speed. Am I gear in or out? In. No, I got too slow and it's become a rock, basically. Mustn't get too slow. Delta becomes so inefficient if you get into a high angle of attack. I'm a dead man. That was a little disappointing. Welcome back. We've changed the test slightly. Auntie's been on Google Earth, and what we found out is we believe that the RAAF strip was actually angled 90 degrees to the radial of the runway he took off. So if he took off from here, heading this way towards this disused runway, did 3 miles before he got the bird strike, and then he's got to now go in, do the extra 4 miles, and turn right 90 degrees. So he's going to get into a pattern to land like that, basically. So that's the change we're going to do. We're going to climb, but we won't be able to get to 4,500 again, and we're going to have our minimum VMIN at 240 knots. I think that's what it said on the document. So stand by, off we go. Let's have a go. So we're going to climb, check out the speed, 300, 250, right up. 240. We're going to try the aerial restart. Doesn't work. Got this runway. If that doesn't stop, I think I'm going to cry. So now we've got to do this base turn without losing too much speed. We're down to 220. Down to 200. We're going to stall. We're going to stall. It's that turn. It does it. 190. Try and keep airspeed rather than height. And last minute. Pull up, gear down. There's nothing I can do. Well, I didn't die, but I also didn't make the strip. We're going to make sure our speed gets even, not as low this time. We'll do the climb. We're going to get a little closer to the runway this time. I know this is the opposite way around that they did it, but it doesn't really matter if the machine turns left or right. Whoops, 250. Down we go again. So you've got to keep speed in the delta. As soon as it loses speed, then we're in a world of not very nice stuff. Problem with going tight like this is I've got a really tight turn to make. But as long as I keep the speed up, I maybe could make it. Wait for it. Don't turn yet. Supercap, don't turn yet. I'm doing better than the last time, I think. Gear out. Make the turn. Gonna get to such high alpha, it's gonna be horrible. Oh no, stalled again. God damn it, how did this guy do this shit? That was even worse. Okay, so the sharp base turn doesn't work, and it's pretty unrealistic that he would have done that anyway. So I'm going to try veering out to the left this time and do a really slow base turn and see if that works. So, I'm going to do the climb. Okay, can't go any slower than that. Try and get some speed back into the bird. No, we're going to get too slow again. Just going to get too slow again. Even if I turn now, it's not going to work. The problem is to turn, I need backstick. I suppose I can try rudder. Let's try rudder instead. Okay. Oh look, the rudder turn works quite well, and I don't lose as much speed. Dare I say, this could possibly... Don't get too slow, Cap, don't get too slow. Full rudder. Off the rudder. Gear out. And pull up. Ah! Come on, pull up, you son of a... Not quite. Not quite. Up we go again. Okay, going down. Right, so this time I'm going to make a slow turn, get some speed in the bird. A slow turn with rudder only. I think I've got too slow this time. I wasn't concentrating very well. Don't think this is going to work because I just got too slow this time. But you never know. Come on, speed up, speed up, speed up, speed up, speed up, speed up. Gear out. Don't pull up yet, don't pull up yet. Now pull up! Damn it! Splaying out left here. We're going to go for the climb. Keeping on the speedo. Okay, that's it. We're going to rudder. No, it's too early for rudder. And we're too slow. Get some speed back in the bird. May have got too slow again. Smacking on the rudder now. Gear. Pull. Ah, come on, 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 come on. I don't even need the parachute. I was going about 50 knots when I stalled there. That's interesting. I just... one more go. Give me one more go, Auntie.
Flat as well. You don't want to land it as if you're under power. You're not under power, so you need to glide it down.
I'm falling here. I've got no real control over it. I'm just going to have to do a last gaff pull to try and get up. Get out. Oh, sweet. You know what? I can handle some busted gear, guys. I can do that. Oh, that was true. So we learned each time there how to conserve a bit more energy in the Delta, which is just a nasty thing to fly without an engine, let's face it. And as best we can, you know, we just don't have enough data to truly reenact that. We assumed it was going to be 3 miles away from the base when he got the bird strike. I couldn't get up to 4,500 like he could. you know, this isn't real life, so maybe there's an error in the sim. Maybe this doesn't act the same as a Mirage 3. Don't know. But the key thing is we got down to the minimum speed that he got of 240. So that bit at least was accurate. The size of this was perfect, 150 wide and 3,800. I dare you to go and challenge yourself, because it's doing things like this teaches you to be a really good pilot. I hope you enjoyed that, and see you later.